Hi, and welcome to another edition of Heather Rocks About Education. Today we are going to be discussing how the use of video and music in the classroom is so very important. So stay tuned. The Read180 program has several different workshops in the book, and in the book the workshops are based on high interest topics at a lower reading level. And I work with low income students that typically come from homes that are broken, and a lot of them come from gang homes. And for example, one of the stories in the book has to do with two male individuals that were in gangs, and they find their way out through this program called Homeboy to the Rescue. With this the Read180 program provides me with a video that has supplemental movie clips for all of the lessons in the book, and they are usually very high interest. For example, one of the lessons, workshop number 1, is all on survivors. And so the first story is about Juanez, who is a singer who has grown up in Colombia. The second story is about Brittany Hamilton, who was surfing and was actually attacked by a shark and lost an arm, and she surfs to this day. And then the third story has to do with two boys that are grown up. They grow up in a gang-filled neighborhood and join gangs, and a program called Homeboy to the Rescue actually helps them get out of the gangs and get a job. So with this particular workshop, I use the Bethany Hamilton documentary that was made after the attack, and it just gives a deeper insight into the story on how she overcame her trial of getting attacked by the shark. And this also allows me kind of a springboard to talk to the students about, if you were faced with adversity, how would you overcome? So overall, in this particular instance, videos are very powerful because they can read the text and they can look at the pictures, but sometimes going that next step with a video where it brings reality to the big screen, it definitely helps hit the topic home. So in this case, this is why I choose to use video in my classroom. There's another workshop called The Brain Exposed, and in this workshop it talks about the intricacies of the brain, and I actually use the movie A Beautiful Mind to show them just how intricate the brain can be. The students really get engaged with the movie, especially in the sense of how his brain is really playing a huge part in how he perceives and sees the world. Some ways that I've used music in the classroom. When I was teaching English, I liked to really allow the students to see how they could relate English to actually the music that they were listening to. So one of my favorite lessons is the students go and pick out the lyrics to a song, and they actually are able to pick apart the song when we are learning about similes and metaphors. And they are very excited to see when they find a song and they find the lyrics, and then they're able to physically underline the similes and metaphors, phrases that use like and as, to actually see that, oh wow, I'm listening to English every day, and I'm, engaging in the conventions of English. So this really gets the students excited, and they're usually very eager to learn more about similes and metaphors. Music can also create wonderful atmosphere for teaching mood and voice when I'm talking about the 6 traits of writing. and my students tend to, we tend to kind of talk about how certain music makes you feel a certain way. And it's exciting for them to see what kind of music I actually listen to, because they typically think the old teacher listens to the boring music, and actually they're very interested to see that I actually listen to a lot of the music that they listen to, and I'm also able to expose them to different types of music through the simile and metaphor activity, because I bring my iPod in and we actually listen to about 6 different songs of different genres that kind of gives them a feel of, you know, how they can find the simile and metaphors, and then also it gives them a feel of, oh wow, when you played that song I felt really angry, or I felt really happy, or that kind of made me sad. So it kind of helps invoke the mood and the feeling within them. So lastly, in the world that we live in today, with us surrounded by music and surrounded by the ability and the readability of obtaining that music and video for that matter, I think it's just very important that we try to use more of this in order to engage our students. Thank you for joining us for another segment of Heather Rocks About Education.